So I saw The Batman earlier this week. And as we all know, one of the key things about Batman is that he doesn't kill people. That's the number one difference between him and the villains. Batman doesn't kill. And so there's one of many scenes where he has the opportunity to kill a crook, and he decides not to. That's what Batman does. But the man next to me, directly next to me, he barely leans over to his wife. He barely hushes himself. He says out loud, "I would have killed him." And then, of course, I just stew on that for the rest of the movie. Yeah, of course, man. You're not Batman. He's Batman. We're watching Batman on a movie. You're the guy who talks in a movie. Why would you say that out loud? Why that observation? That's not even a take. It's not a riff. You want your wife to giggle? She's not going to giggle. She doesn't squeeze your shoulder. She ignores you. Everyone should. I should have ignored you. I should have ignored you. Because he talks throughout the whole movie, obviously. Just one of those people, he just feels a thing, he's got to say it immediately. These are emotions I must share. I would have killed that guy. What does it even matter? What is that? Do you think that's a plot hole? That Batman didn't kill that guy? Oh, it drives me crazy. But then I think, am I no better than he? Right? Am I this? Why would I bring this up? Why do you even care? Why would you care? Now I'm spreading this. This is bad energy. So I've decided that I'm going to be the bigger man here. I'm going to be the Batman. I'm proud to announce that I'm not going to talk about that guy. This Tuesday, it was announced that there would be a state of play this Wednesday. So normally when you get a 24-hour notice like that, it's a courteous sign that we should all not get too excited. Right? 1 week's notice, time for Final Fantasy XVI. 1 day's notice, time for Stranger in Paradise. And that's what it was. It was pretty light and breezy, 20 minutes, which to me had 3 standout new game announcements. The DioField Chronicle, Valkyrie Elysium, and Exoprimal. 3 new games that none of us had any awareness of a week ago. Exciting. But also, as I was putting this episode together, I came to realize a harsh truth about these 3 games. This is probably the last time I'm ever going to mention them on this show. It's just, you can just tell sometimes. There's just those kinds of games, and I think these are those. It feels personal, but it's not personal. So that's what brings me to this week's episode. Why I'm probably never going to bring you up again. DioField Chronicle. I'm probably never going to bring you up again because nothing happens in your trailer. Nothing happens in this trailer. Nothing that would make you interested. A lot of games have this issue with their trailers where they'll just have a bunch of unconnected lines just smashed together with the presumption that I guess that just like we'll be intrigued. We'll want to, these lines are interesting enough to pique our curiosity. Maybe the performance is strong enough to make us think, oh, this has good voice acting. I don't know what the meaning is. Watch the beginning of this trailer with me with subtitles.
Is this really what you want?
And you are certain that what we are doing is best for the people of the kingdom?
Yes. I suppose it would, in a sense. True. Yes. It made me wonder, am I still that same person?
I'm losing my mind trying to keep track of this. What are you doing? Who's Rias? Then we learn that the Red Nation and the Green Nation have always been at war, while the Blue Nation, the Island Nation, has been free of it until now. Then we see what this game looks like, which is kind of nice considering the apparent budget up to this point. But by the time the title hits, which is the DioField Chronicle, you can tell that this game is going to have its audience and then nobody else. This game is a headline today and then will never be ever again. Exoprimal. I'm probably never going to bring you up again because whoever kills dinos fastest wins. It's a strong setup for a new game. Trailer opens with a dinosaur forecast, which is weird. Then regular cool robot suit stuff. Then raining dinosaurs, which to me is perfect. Raining dinosaurs is what makes your game unique. Show that first, and they absolutely do. Raining dinosaurs. This is what's unique. This is what makes our game different. And then yeah, this looks like a fun video game to play. Now the problem comes when you go to exoprimal.com as the trailer asks us to. Turns out this is a 5v5 online only competitive multiplayer game. Dino Survival, the main game mode, sees 2 teams of 5 players compete in a variety of PvE and PvP missions. The team that completes the mission first will emerge victorious. Whether players are engaging the other team directly or fighting alongside them against a common enemy, the aim is to accomplish objectives as quickly as possible. Imagine you're doing a group project in school, right? And you're divided up into groups of 5, and the teacher's like, you can work together to answer all the questions on this quiz. And then 10 minutes later, there's that group who's like, we're done. I hate that feeling. That's not a fun thing to design a whole game around. We're finished. We beat all our dinosaurs. What? That's what this game is? That's your first idea? Like, it would have been fine. It would have put us versus dinosaurs. That's fine. Hey man, let's just do that. Why do we gotta race? Why's it gotta be sometimes an invisible race? It's a bummer because this is a game where thousands of dinosaurs rain from the sky. I love that. But with its competitive online focus, I can just see this being one of those games that comes and goes fast. Valkyrie Elysium, I'm probably never gonna bring you up again because the jiggly hair. Now this is a trailer whose budget is pungent. You can smell it from the second you see this character's face. That's a face that says, we did not get a lot of money, buddy. But I'm still kind of into this. My favorite shot of this trailer is with action, 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 then suddenly opening a treasure chest. That moment right there is when I know that I will eventually play this video game. I love treasure chests. But then look at this shot. Please note the jiggly hair. We see weird jiggling hair and clothes and legs in video games all the time. It happens. But that shot shouldn't be in the announcement trailer. And I feel like the editor can only feel one of 3 things about this. 1, most people won't notice the jiggling hair. 2, I didn't notice the jiggling hair. Or 3, I don't care about the jiggling hair. And I think that last one is probably closest to the truth. While I love this kind of thing, I love a crusty, low-budget IP revival. It's just not the kind of thing you make a YouTube video about. You know, it's like going to see the Batman and then saying out loud, I would have killed him. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You don't have to say any of that out loud. And that's the last we'll ever talk about these video games. Probably this was the most fun and exciting it will ever be to talk about these video games. And then from here out, it just kind of becomes less interesting for them. Which, I mean, it sucks, but it's just the way it is. There's only so much mind share. And most of it is Elden Ring and Busted Fellows right now. There's no space. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for Exoprimal to be a big success for Capcom. That'd be fun. I got a suggestion. How about a mode where it's like the slowest to kill the dinosaurs wins? Let's reward those who are savoring the dino kills. Why are we rushing through this? I get 1,000 dinosaurs? Don't make me rush. Let me get the headshots. Let me line them up. That's it for Delayed Input for this week. I'll be back next week, and I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. So as I'm saying all the time, Delayed Input is constantly growing. It's a constant work in progress. We're figuring things out as we go, trying things out, seeing what works. And one thing I don't think I do enough of is building anticipation for the next week's episode. Right? At the end of our episode, I'm like, oh, I'll be back here next week. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. But like you have no idea what to expect from next week's episode. So I thought this week I would try to cut a trailer for next week's episode. Here it is. Let me ask you this. Dare I dream of another morrow? I'd say yes. True. Yup. Yeah, I get that. This is the story of a Rias. Oh my, what a nice looking swamp. I wonder who lives in that hut. Will my country forgive me? Whoops, I spilled my sausage stew. Come on, Rias, I know you did that on purpose. You're not safe here.
I can take care of myself, honey.
Can I be forgiven? Forgiven. Rias! Shut up!